It's not been a particularly good couple of weeks for radical Trumpist Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She, of course, had these incredible hearings about her involvement in allegedly inciting the Trump riot insurrection, during which she very obviously perjured herself multiple times, lying under oath. She then was exposed further by some leaked text messages involving Donald Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, in which she seems to very clearly be telling him, people are talking about and maybe we should look into this whole martial law thing. Now, hilariously, she misspelled martial law, Marshall, like the name, rather than Martial. That's sort of like a sidebar comedy element to the entire thing. But she was finally confronted about these text messages by CNN reporter Jim Acosta. He did the ambush thing, as I call it, where he just kind of found her on the street, as far as we know. Now, I want to be open to the possibility that this was scheduled and this was just the way it developed, where it was, yeah, you can talk to me as I walk between meetings. As far as I know, this was sort of like the ambush style. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit because I have some thoughts about that approach. But the subject matter here is fascinating. And you might notice that Jim Acosta does a really nice touch here where he mentions the misspelling of Marshall a bunch of times during this confrontation. So pay attention to that. Notice how Marjorie Taylor Greene will not stop speaking. Her approach is to try to not let Acosta even get a word in. Check it out.
You don't seem to recall a whole lot.
Well,
What's going on there?
Jim, you have a show, and in all fairness, you try to present this image of me to your viewers, and it's just really not correct.
Well, we're just trying to get some answers. Did you send a text asking for the president to declare martial law? Did you do that?
I don't recall those being my text messages, but have you read the text message that you're referring to?
I did.
Because it actually says if you...
It was misspelled, but it seemed to say...
So first mention of the misspelling.
Actually, it says, if you read it correctly, Jim, your problem is you're lying again right now. It says, I do not know on those things. That's what that text message...
One of the funniest things that has to be mentioned is, on the one hand, she won't actually own up to it being her text. Now, of course it is. It's her text. There's no dispute about the technical aspect of it. But she keeps saying the text is being misrepresented. It's like, well, if you didn't send it, if you're sticking by, I don't even recall that it's my text, does it really matter what it said if it's not even really your text? She wants to play both sides on it.
Actually says,
well, let me ask
why
you
don't
this.
you be honest?
Why even bring it up?
Why don't
Why
you be
even bring
honest?
up martial law?
No, your problem is you're just one of those liars on television. And people hate it. They can't stand the liars on television.
I'm not the one saying I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall.
Quote the supposed text message. Quote it. What does it say? I don't know on those things.
If you want to hang on, let's
read it out loud.
Let's read it. Okay,
why don't you be honest for once?
And the entire time he's looking for it, she's just badgering him.
Read it out loud.
Let's take a look. I mean, my question is,
read it out loud.
even...
What does it actually say?
Okay.
What is the text message? Read the whole thing.
Let's look at it. Okay.
Yeah, let's read it.
But you're saying you don't recall it.
I don't know if that's my text message or not, but if you want to talk about a text...
I don't even know if I said it, but you'd damn well better quote me correctly from it so that you actually tell people what I meant. In the text message, I don't even know if I sent.
Message. Read the text message. Do something
Let's take
real.
A look. Let's take a look.
Okay, read the exact text message that you're talking about.
I'll read it. Let's take a look here.
Oh, we got an article. Why don't you find the actual text message?
Let's see here. Let's hang on a second. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. Marshall was not spelled.
Keep going with the text message.
I don't know on those things. I just wanted you to tell him.
I don't know on those things. Is that what that says? It says I don't know on those things.
But why?
Wait, hold on, stop. This text message that's supposedly mine, I don't know if it is. What is it?
Jim, you're misquoting me from a text message that is supposedly mine, but I don't know.
It says some members, and then it says, wait, hold on. It says, I don't know. Wait, I don't know if that's my text. It says, I don't know on those things. Why don't you tell that story? No.
You're saying you don't know if
you're
it's your
lying.
text, but you're being
You're a liar.
defensive about it.
You know why people do not like you?
Why are you being so defensive
Because you're a liar. Why do you want to lie on television for your viewers?
I'm not trying to lie.
No, you're trying to
ask you
No, you're
about...
accusing me of something, and then when you read the actual words, it tells another story.
So, The constant talking to try to prevent him from actually getting a word in. That's a technique that's often used. It's the same technique she used in the debate last night. At the top of the show, we covered some of the Georgia elections that are going on. One of them is Marjorie Taylor Greene's Republican primary. She had her mic cut yesterday at a debate, or the day before. I found the clip yesterday. Maybe it was from the day before. She had her mic cut because she wouldn't stop talking. Okay, so this is a strategy that she employs. It's a technique, a tactic, I guess we would say. She also simultaneously doesn't recall whether it's actually her text message, but is mad that what she meant to say is being misinterpreted. How do you know what you meant to say if it's not even clear you sent the message? If I say, I don't know whether I wrote it, how can I know what the intention of the writer is? If it's me, I would know, but I'm saying I don't actually remember. It's full on doublespeak. Now, let me talk a little bit about ambush style. Let's assume that this was ambush style, meaning Jim Acosta just kind of found her, was waiting for her, showed up with a camera. It's not a tactic I use. And the reason I don't do it is it doesn't strike me as fair as a general thing. We have an interview process, and sometimes people decline to be interviewed. And I don't like that, but I respect it in the sense that I can't compel, the same way that I can't compel Harvard to allow me to speak there, right? We have these conservatives often say, I'm being silenced because a school won't have me for an event. It's like, well, no, they don't have to. People don't have to speak to me. So for me, if I request an interview, people don't want to do it. For me to then show up and kind of ambush them, to me, it doesn't feel like the right thing to do. However, I am sensitive to an explanation that sometimes is given for using the technique for people in positions of power, which is they are in a position of power. They have legislative authority in this case. They can be involved in making law, all these different, they're supposed to be accountable to the people, and they won't answer real basic questions about, are you lying? Are you telling lies? What's going on here? When you say you don't recall, but then here's the text, is it yours? And they won't sit down and actually be questioned. You can make the case that reporters are left with no choice. So there are circumstances where if it's truly a reporter and someone in a position of power, I get having no other option. It's not a technique I use, but I can see both sides of the discussion. Let me know what you think about the technique. Send me your thoughts, and maybe we'll do a follow-up on the ambush technique.